What's up, you guys? It's Carter, and today is February 4th, 2016, which means I am 1 year post-op. So, this video, I want to kind of address the experience that I had with having top surgery, and pretty much just the truth of it, and the things that I went through, and the hardships that I dealt with, and I just want to share my story and a little bit of a background about me, so that's what this video is going to be based off of. So a little bit of a history about me is I came out as a transgender identified person to my friends and family in 2014. I received nothing but judgment and harsh comments and negative feedback. It really scared me that I didn't have a support system. It pretty much forced me back into the closet, and I was fearful that me transitioning was unrealistic and practically impossible, so I kind of tried my very best to put those feelings aside. So I basically told my parents that I'm reading signs wrong, I'm sorry I told you I felt that way, I was just confused and I wanted to have small breasts because at the time I was very large, I was a double D. So I told them that if I have a breast reduction, my feelings of being trans will just, like, they'll disappear. My parents agreed to allow me to have a breast reduction, and they told me that they're only going to let me have a breast reduction if the whole thought of me wanting to be a man and being trans, everything like that, would just go away. I told them yeah, it would. Basically, they wanted to sweep everything that I was dealing with, all my trans issues, like, under the rug. And so I ended up having a breast reduction in 2014 summer, and I went from a double D to an A, and I was still miserable. Afterwards, I couldn't even stand to look at myself. I don't even like to talk about it. I hated how I felt. I really just was uncomfortable with myself. I knew I needed to transition, so I did my research and I found out that my health insurance would actually cover trans health. So I talked to my doctor and I asked my doctor if I could start hormones. He said I could. I asked him if I needed parents' permission. They said no, I'm an adult, so I didn't need parents' permission to start any type of treatment. I started hormones and my family found out about it. They were furious. It was a blow up, it was a mess, there was screaming matches happening, they threatened to take me off the health insurance. Crazy stuff, just threats and telling me certain things that were very hurtful and that I still remember. They just couldn't wrap their brain around it. And then after a few nights of it kind of settling down, my dad told me that I could take hormones under the roof, but under no circumstances was I to ever undergo any type of surgery, any type of procedure that would alter my body. Basically, they were putting limitations on my transition and telling me what was okay with my transition and what wasn't okay with my transition. They were not going to call me the correct name, they were not going to call me the correct pronoun, no. Like, it was not even a question, it would not, no. Further down the line, I found out that also I could undergo surgery without their permission. By all means, I made the decision to schedule my surgery and have a surgery date, and I talked to my surgeon, everything was set in stone, like it was going to happen, and I was super, super excited, but I knew that my parents would not approve, and I knew if I were to tell my parents that I was having surgery, they would have taken me off the health insurance and not allow me to have the surgery. So I told my parents that I was going on a road trip with my friends and that I wouldn't be back for about 2 weeks. I ended up having the surgery and left a note for my parents, basically telling them that I was ready to take on any repercussions that they were going to give me or any consequences because I felt like this surgery was that important for me. I battled with myself a lot because I didn't want to lie to my parents. I didn't like doing that. Part of me didn't feel bad because I felt like I had every reason to do what I did. But I believe that if I were to tell them that I was having surgery, I would be standing here today uncomfortable in my own body and with breasts. I believe that, 100%. My best friend took me into surgery and she also helped me recover. I just remember, like, about to go into surgery and I'm sitting on the hospital bed waiting anxiously with my thumbs twirling, just like waiting to get wheeled in to the surgery that is going to change my life. And I'm sitting there with my feet freezing cold and just thinking to myself that not a single family member is by my side with me through this process that is so intimate to me and so personal. And I remember just like feeling alone. Although I had a friend waiting in the waiting room for me, it's still like, which I'm very grateful for, but my parents weren't there, you know, and my siblings weren't there, and no one in my family was there. That was very, very difficult for me. Yeah, I went home, and my mom, the first words she said were, "I'm so disappointed in you." I remember just thinking, no, I'm disappointed in you. For the first time in my entire life, I looked in the mirror. I saw someone who I could connect with, who I was proud of. I saw myself for the first time. And my own mother was telling me that she was disappointed. If you're disappointed in me for being proud of myself, then you can be disappointed all you want, and I don't care. Because I'm proud of myself. And that's a feeling that no one is going to take away. I'm perfectly fine being who I am, and I'm perfectly fine with you being disappointed in me. You are very lucky and very blessed if you do have someone that does support you, because not everyone does. And for those of you that do have family members that are supportive of your transition and just who you are in general, please let them know how much you appreciate their support and how much you love and cherish them. Because having support and having someone who does support you is very crucial to someone's success and to someone's well-being. So let them know how much you value them and just adore them for being by your side. So here I am a year later, and I've come to the conclusion that in order for you to be yourself, you have to be willing to let people down, because you're not always going to be what someone expects. You are going to disappoint people. You cannot choose to live uncomfortably to make someone else comfortable, because that's not fair to yourself. I refuse to do that, and I hope you do too. You deserve to be filled with joy. Oh, and one last thing. This is my chest 1 year post-op. I couldn't be more satisfied, and I couldn't be more content with how my life has been this past year, and just personally how my surgery turned out. I'm very happy, and I don't know. I have no words. I'm just super excited and super content with who I am. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.